You don't deserve Lego. It's that simple. Until your buying behavior changes, the prices will keep going up. Welcome to Hard Truths with Uncle Jimmy. Those are just a few of the things that I'm going to hit on today. Before I get started in the hard truths, the Lego community is awesome. I love interacting with all of my old friends and my new friends in the Lego community. Any one of you that came up and said hello at a convention or that I've known before, thank you. Thank you for your time. That's the most valuable thing you've got. It blows me away every day that people watch the videos. So thank you. It is great to meet so many wonderful people. Second of all, I learned about myself and content creation and conventions. I'm terrible at making content at conventions. At conventions, I want to hang out with my friends and I want to make new friends. And I want to enjoy all the incredible things that the Lego community does. Creating content is a hobby on the side of my Lego hobby. I'd rather be present in person with my friends than doing something with a camera that takes away from the in-person experience. Then before I get started with the hard truths, I gotta say, this isn't directed at any one individual. I'm not trying to single anybody out, but just some things that I've noticed, especially in the Lego fan community online. There's some things that I see that drive me a little nuts. I started out saying you don't deserve Lego. And I 100% stand behind that. Nobody deserves Lego. It's a luxury item. And I don't mean that in the sense that Lego wants to see itself as a luxury brand, etc., etc. I mean, it's not food, clothes, shelter, water. I don't need it to live, therefore it is a luxury. And one of the most dangerous things that I see, not just in the Lego community, but in general, especially in the United States, is this sense of entitlement and people saying, I deserve. You don't deserve anything, really. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what you deserve. You deserve to be treated with basic human dignity. You don't deserve things. You don't deserve luxury. Nobody does. And kind of in line with that, the Lego group doesn't care about you individually. They don't care about me individually. They don't care about us being able to buy every single set. That's not great business. They're not marketing to the people who can buy every single set. And the 18 plus line, frankly, should be driving that home for everybody. It is not Lego's intent to have people buy every single set. If people do, if there are some people with the means to do that, they're not turning them away. But Lego's strategy is they want a Lego set or some Lego sets in every household. They don't want every Lego set in some households. Because there's way more money in it for them to get some Lego in every house than to have a few select people buy all the Lego, which is the difference between how it was with adult fans, especially in the late 90s, early 2000s. There were a few people that got everything pretty much, but Lego is bound and determined to get their product in every home. It's just good business on their part. So, that's hard truth number one. None of us deserve anything other than basic human dignity, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those are all that we deserve. Number two, I keep hearing this phrase locked behind a paywall. Like, there's a whole bunch of people that keep using this phrase. It's somewhat asinine. In a capitalist system, which we're in, everything's locked behind a paywall. That's how commerce works. You trade your time and effort for money. You're locked behind a paywall to your employer or your customer. And then you trade that money to somebody else who has something that you want for their time and effort in creating it. It's just that simple. So really, the locked behind a paywall statement that keeps getting bandied about, I've heard it in dozens of videos this summer from a bunch of different creators. Yeah, that's commerce. That's how it works. Things are locked behind paywalls. The thing that I find especially ironic is when somebody complains about Lego putting something behind a paywall, whether that's a gift with purchase with a high threshold or a desirable minifigure in an expensive set or whatever it happens to be. But then that content creator has Patreon memberships or YouTube memberships or whatever else, where they're literally locking their content that could be on a free platform to their consumers and their fans. They're saying, no, you must pay to get to me, but I'm going to complain about paying to get this other thing. It seems really disingenuous. I have to call a spade a spade. If you have memberships and you use the phrase locked behind a paywall, you sound like a tool. The other hard truth that I have for you is, if Lego's working with a third party who holds a license to a product that they're producing in partnership with them, Lego loses a lot of their say in a lot of things. And wrapped into that, both Lego and whatever the third party IP holder is, they're in it to make money. They also understand how the market works. You know, the one that I'm hearing right now, everybody's talking about the sail barge and how expensive it is and how outrageous the price is. I guarantee you it will sell out day one. So, in this case, it's Star Wars fans, but it could apply to anybody else. Lego Star Wars fans, you do this to yourselves. Anybody at all who goes and buys the barge on day one and pays that $500 price, it doesn't matter what you've said on your content or what you've told your friends or on Discord or in a chat or whatever else. If you pay that $500 price, you're telling Lego that it is not overpriced. That's the message that you're sending. Until your behavior changes, Lego will keep increasing prices because they're going to increase them to what the market bears. And if they set a price like $500 on the barge and it sells out day one, that tells them they could charge more. And then, you know, akin to that, people talking about how expensive the skiff is that came out earlier this year that pairs with the barge. Okay, true. I don't have that skiff. Do I wish the skiff had been included in the sail barge package at $500 and not $580 for the full retail price of the two sets together? Absolutely. Am I going to pay $580 as the full retail price for those two sets? Not on your life. There is zero chance that I'm spending $580 to get those two sets. Because, and this is going to come off a little harsh, I'm not dumb enough to do it. Like, what's going to change if I don't buy it day one? The price will only go down until it retires. Now, it's not going to go down every day, but I guarantee you that the barge will be at least 20% off at some point. Whether that's getting cash back from a Rakuten or credit card points, or worst case, go to a Barnes & Noble and buy it, and you'll get 10% off automatically with a free membership there. You shouldn't pay full price for Lego. It's just that simple. And if you're paying full price for Lego, you get what you deserve. And I don't even buy the argument, well, so take M&R for example, just because he's probably the biggest name in the Lego Star Wars space and has lots of things to say, you know, and theoretically people listen to him. And he says, you know, he probably already has the sail barge or has it on its way and probably paid 2 to 3 times retail plus express shipping to get a hold of it. That's his general MO with these kind of things. If somebody can get it for him early, he will pay double or triple plus express shipping to get it to him. And it's his livelihood to make content. But I guarantee you, if content creators really thought the price was that bad, and I'm excluding all the people who got it for free. I can't take your evaluation of the value seriously if the money didn't actually come out of your pocket. But someone like M&R who is buying it himself and paying a premium to get it, I have to do it for the content, and my one purchase doesn't make a difference. Your one purchase might not individually make a difference, but imagine if somebody like M&R or Solid Brick Studios or, you know, somebody from Rebel Lug or Empire Lug or all of them got together and said, hey, you know what? we think this is way too expensive. And so we're not going to create content with it in hand because we think the price is stupid. Imagine that video. Imagine seeing M&R get on, hey, what's up, studs? And he has his, fancy review thumbnail that, he's known for. And he gets on and he says, so you thought I was going to do a review today, but I refuse because I think that price is ludicrous. And so I'm not willing to pay it. And I'm not willing to pay somebody to get it for me in advance because I think the price is dumb, and I don't think you should either. What if a bunch of voices in the content creation, Lego, AFOL content creation community said that and backed it up and told their followers, I don't think this is fair value for money. You shouldn't buy it. What would happen? Say, no, I refuse to buy this at this price. I will not buy this until it hits X price that I think is fair. That's what I'm doing. I am not buying the sail barge at full price. And that is the only way that prices come down. I mean, you could still get the Hulkbuster. I haven't looked today, but the giant Hulkbuster mech that everybody said was a ridiculous price and refused to buy. I mean, literally talking to the manager at my local Lego store, that massive UCS Hulkbuster basically didn't sell. And it's been as much as 40% off on Lego's website. It's been, I believe, 30% off basically for the last year straight. I have a copy, and I got it at about 50% off once you take into account the sale that I got it on, plus the cash back from Rakuten, cash back from my credit card, everything else. Once you take that all into account, I paid about 50% of the price, which $250 or whatever it was with the tax and shipping and everything included. That feels pretty fair. Like, it's over there. That's why I keep looking that way. That feels like a fair price for that. So if you want the prices to come down, you have to quit encouraging bad behavior on Lego's part by selling their stuff out day one, or even week one, or even month one. Wait until the price drops. And people today talk about FOMO like they're the first people that have ever felt it. Like, this generation is the first time that FOMO has ever existed. I would venture to say that this is the first generation that has felt so entitled that FOMO was a real thing, where people had a terribly hard time with it, and so they made really stupid financial decisions. Like, yes, there's always been people who made bad financial decisions, who got things that they couldn't afford. But it's an epidemic at this point. Fear of missing out is not a valid reason to buy something. I'm a father of 5, single income home. Of course you miss out on things in life. That's how it is. Like, at what point did we get so entitled that we feel like we shouldn't miss out on anything? You have to make choices. You can't have everything. You can't do everything. That's life. And maybe that's part of the digital space. That's part of the content creation meta, is that so many people are saying, oh my goodness, you got to have this. And so many people are saying, look how cool this is. And if you don't have this, you're going to regret it. Maybe that's part of the thing, and it's just fueling that absolute entitlement. But guess what? If you don't get the sail barge, Rivendell, or the Hulkbuster, or the Sanctum Sanctorum, or whatever else it is, life will go on. Maybe, I don't know, tell me, let me know. Am I out of line? Am I off base? I mean, I'm the third of 10 kids and a father of 5. Am I the only one that's had to go without stuff? Am I the only one that's missed out and made it to this point in my life, and I'm not worse for it? Like, I don't think that's the case, but if it is, let me know, because I just don't get it. Why? Why is this a thing? Can I not afford the things that I want because I'm undisciplined? I'm not saying that's the case for everybody. There are people with real financial problems. But If you can't afford everything that you want, welcome to humanity. And you don't deserve to have everything you want. Nobody does. Take a step back. Really evaluate what's going on. What's important. It's not Lego. And even for the people whose livelihood depends on Lego content creation, they could find something else to do. I'm positive that any of these people whose full-time job is Lego content creation, I'm sure they could make it in some other niche. And really, they'd probably do better in other areas. Let's be frank, Lego is a tiny, tiny pool. There's a reason that the biggest Lego channels cap out at around 500,000, unless you're doing content that appeals to people outside the Lego fan community. There's a limited number of views to be had with Lego. And most of the people that do this full time are talented enough that they could make their money some other way. But imagine if all of them said, and even the land members who get it for free and make content with it, imagine if their content was, hey, yeah, here's the set. Here's the things I like about it. Here's the things that I didn't like about it. I don't think you should buy it at this price. And I'm not going to give Lego more free promotion for something that I feel is criminally overpriced. Like, everybody wants to talk about how it's overpriced, especially the people that got it for free. They'll throw that out there, but then they'll just rave about how good it is. What if you just said, yeah, I got it for free and it's a good build and it's an interesting set, but I won't promote it at this price? Imagine how much watch time that would get. And if those videos did go bananas, what it would tell Lego. And then imagine on October 1st or whatever the day it is that the barge is releasing, if day one, it didn't sell out. Imagine if week one it didn't sell out. What message would that send? You can't afford to keep buying at this price day one because the price will continue to go up. And I hear especially Star Wars fans complain about how their prices are unfair compared to everybody else's. You do it to yourselves. Stop. Stop buying day one. You know you can get it 10% off at Barnes & Noble. Most sets are going to end up 20% off on Amazon or Walmart or over at Costco or something. You're going to find it for 20% off at some point. Wait for it. This is really long and rambly. I hope we get smart as a community at some point. Like, you can't whine and complain at Lego and make all the commentary about how this is too expensive and then buy it at that price. Because you're sending the wrong message. You're sending the message that, no, it is the right price because I'll pay it. For crying out loud, stop. Keep your money in your wallet. Wait for it to be cheaper. Don't pay full price. And heaven forbid you miss out on that Lego set because it retires before it gets to a price that you're willing to pay. Life will go on. It's been Hard Truths with Uncle Jimmy. We'll talk to you later.